Hi guys, it's Mimri. Today I'm playing But You Seem Fine, and this game is actually based on one of the developers' struggles with invisible illness. So in the story, we follow the journey of Ray Kim, who becomes sick with like a mysterious illness. So she and her mother go on a journey for answers to see like what she actually has. Okay. Ray says this isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Why can't I find some answers? Okay, chapter 1. You awaken in your bedroom. The sun is shining in through the window. It's just another Monday. Your computer is sitting beside you on the bed, still open to the paused screen from the night before. You must have fallen asleep watching the new season of Super Space Sailor, documented on James and Connie. Are you your mom? I haven't heard that name in a long time. The new season of Super Space Sailors. The plot has been lagging since Captain Yumiko Idami of the Global Defense Squad bit the dust last season, but he never thought you would actually fall asleep during an episode. You rub some of the sleep from your eyes and head downstairs before you're even later than you already are. Good morning, sweetie. If you had slept any longer, I would have left you to fend for yourself. But since I have some time to spare before heading off to work, what would you like for breakfast? Bacon and eggs, Johnny cakes, fried rice. Johnny cakes, bacon and eggs, Johnny's. Fried rice sounds nice. I'll choose Johnny cakes. You want what now? Johnny cakes. They were a staple of the early American breakfast. The founding fathers ate them. Fried cornmeal and cast iron skillet was how they started their days. So why can't I, right? I didn't know Johnny cakes were like that. Mom does not look amused. Right, well, I don't have that, but I do have French toast. Alright, at least Lafayette will be proud. Give me French toast, or give me death. Excuse me, Ray Kim, aren't you forgetting something? Please, would you do me the absolute honor of preparing me breakfast, dearest mother? Okay, save the dramatic language for the theater, but thank you. While Mom prepares breakfast, you pack your lunch for the day. Looks like the only option left is leftover tikka masala? I don't know what tikka masala is, but it sounds good. Yum! Mom sets your French toast on the table, and you shovel it down before heading out the door for school. You arrive at school in record time. Was it breakfast that made the difference? Mom always was a killer chef, and French toast has never failed you. You're lost in thought and heading towards your locker when you spot the one, the only one. Sadie. What do? Inquire about life, complain about school, discuss the latest episode. You know what? Let's complain about school, how much it sucks. Please tell me Mr. Santich did not give us an extra essay. Doesn't he know I have a very important and busy life outside of school? Come on, it's not gonna be that bad. A 3-page fictional adventure on whatever theme you choose. Ugh. You write those for fun all the time. Yeah, but not for an assignment. You don't want to write a story for like a homework or an assignment for school because it just sucks the fun out of it. You've already finished yours, haven't you? Speedy. She has, hasn't she? I choose to believe I'm friends with you. You chuckle to yourself and head into your first class of the day. Home sweet home. Mom and Dad will be coming back from work for a couple of hours, so there's a lot to get done. It's like a practice job. You're feeling artistic and musical. Plus, the swan from the Carnival of the Animals has been stuck in your head since you heard it earlier in class. You pick up the bow and start playing. Let's do homework. Gotta get them done anyway. Maintaining good marks does not come without effort. You think you heard someone say that at some point? Regardless, you dive headfirst into some worksheets from today. And last but not least, you play soccer. Seems like forever since you kicked around the soccer ball in the garage. Maybe it's time to dust off some of those dormant skills from middle school. Besides, getting outside is good for the body and the mind. That's enough for one day. Your throat is starting to feel a bit scratchy. Maybe it's allergies. Either way, you better get some rest. You shuffle onto your bed and call it a night. Oh, I forgot. I just realized there's a poster right there. There's a poster for like Hamilton right there, Eliza, and this is from Steven Universe, I can tell. That's the white diamond, right? Okay, you wake up the next morning, totally unable to breathe. That is, until you open your mouth. Your nose is completely congested and you can barely make a croaking noise without your throat burning. Yep, I'm sick. This blows. You're probably asleep. You know your eyelids close as you drift in and out of consciousness. You fall back asleep. Your eyelids get heavier and heavier. Slowly, you drift off. Turns out this cold hit you harder than normal, and recovery is taking longer than you're used to. You miss a full week of school while you're sick in bed, battling fever and congestion and throat pain. Oh my gosh, serious. One week later, if you're missing a whole week of school, then it's really serious. You gotta go to the hospital. No, she's fine now. You finally feel well enough to come back to school. You're excited to be back in the swing of things. You missed orchestra, you missed drama club, and most of all, you missed your friends. Speaking of double, there's Sadie. Talks, homework, be dramatic. Sadie, my friend, my one and only. I never thought I'd see your face after touching the cold nightmare of death. Haha, okay, Your Majesty, I know you're just kidding, but I seriously thought you died. Where have you been? We'll explain how the last week of your life has been spent battling sickness in your bed. Your only contact with the outside world when your mom would come in to give you medicine and soup. Yikes, but you aren't still contagious, right? No way, I haven't felt sick since Friday. I tried to text you, but I kinda lost my phone on a wad of tissue. Ray, that is disgusting. Are you really better? Yeah, although... What? Nothing, I just wish I wasn't so tired. You go to the rest of your classes for the day, eager to catch up on schoolwork. orchestra. Man, I forgot how to read notes. It's kind of sad. I forgot what this means. Isn't this a club? You meet up with your chamber orchestra buddies and start rehearsal. You missed your school cello. It may be a lot older and more worn down than the one you keep at home, but you'll take it over having to lug the huge instrument back and forth twice a week. Yeah. Rehearsal goes smoothly, but your time off has not been kind, and you have a bit of trouble keeping up with the group's new music. She's sick again. That's not normal. When you wake up the next morning, you're stuffy, have a fever, and an incredible headache. How are you sick again? You just got better, but it looks like this sickness is back for round 2. Ugh, I would give anything to stay in bed longer. There's a knock on your door. After a short pause, Mom comes in. I know you're not still in bed. It's nearly time to go to work. For me to go to work. Mom, please. Ray? You're not looking so hot. I don't feel 100% better. Looks like that cold decided to stick around a little longer. Stay home. I'll call the school and get you excused. It's better to sleep and let this bug pass. You want to argue, you have a ton of schoolwork and a million club responsibilities, but the thought of going back to sleep is just too tempting. Thanks, Mom. Mom smiles back and heads into the hallway. You fall asleep once more. Morning again, the sun streams through the window, forcing you to shield your eyes. I'm heading off to work, but I'll leave some medicine on the nightstand. Feel better, sweetie. You grumble in response and fall back asleep as she leaves. Gosh, she looks terrible. You wake up groggy and tired. You are very disoriented. You have no idea how much time has passed or how long you have been asleep. It seems late. Check your phone, call from your mom. Let's call from your mom. Mom? You call into the dark, but get no response. Maybe she's too far away to hear you. You cross your room and hear someone talking, so you open the door and head downstairs. Your stomach is grumbling. You're not quite sure when you last ate. Sit down. We have some leftovers from dinner. Would you like me to reheat them? You nod. Mom pulls out a plate and then covers it before popping it in the microwave. You stare blankly into the distance. Mom places the plate in front of you, then leans against the counter, watching as you start to eat. She's clearly concerned. Thank you. You finish your food and get up to leave the table, but before you go, you glance back around. I love you. I head back upstairs and go back to bed. Still looks terrible. You wake up again, some time has passed, but you don't know how much. Get up, sleep. Sleep. Waking up again, you realize you are no less. Oh, it's a garage. It's locked that fast. Okay, I think it's that. You realize you are no less tired than when you last slept. You have no clue how long you've been asleep. Trying to get up. You just don't have the energy. So we can't get up. We just simply don't have the energy to do that. You rub some of your sleep from your eyes. Mom is looking at you, worried. Again. Come on. Okay, it's done. You frown. We're going to the doctor, sweetie. Time to get up. You grumble. She helps you get dressed, and you stumble into the car. You and your mom are at the doctor's office, here to see your primary care physician, Dr. Harris. What brings you in today? Mom explains. The getting sick, the endless sleeping, the suddenness of it all. Well, I'll do some checkups and see if anything's wrong. He has you open your mouth, say ah, he checks your eyes, your ears, your nose, he pulls out his stethoscope and listens to your heart. He listens to you cough, he listens to you breathe. He takes your temperature, he tests your reflexes, he takes your blood pressure. He sits back. Well, nothing seems to be wrong. You're shaking the bed completely, but you're in high school, aren't you? You're 14? Maybe this has something to do with your hormones, or well, your hormones are not making you this sick. Maybe you're just depressed. You stare blankly. Mom frowns. She's not just depressed. There's something wrong. I've never seen her like this before. I know what she's normally like, and something's not right. He sighs and scribbles something onto a pad of paper. He rips off 2 sheets. Here, 2 prescriptions, one for birth control, one for antidepressants. Maybe she'll get better? Oh my god, the doctor's completely freaking useless. Can't you test her for any type of disease or something? Like swab her? Did he seriously not believe me? I'm your mother, I know what I'm talking about. The nerve of that man. You're saying nothing, choosing to stare out the window. We're going to have a look somewhere else. You mumble in agreement and then off to sleep. You don't do like a brain scan? I forgot, is that called an MRI? It's chapter 2. Like, I read too many stories of like doctors not taking their patients seriously when they say there's something wrong with them. And when I read those stories, I get frustrated for those people. You blink slowly and start to wake up. You don't know how long it's been since you first got sick, but your days seem endless now. Look at your phone. You check your phone and see you have a new message. It's Mom. Hey sweetie, don't forget we have a doctor's appointment at 1:30 today. I'll be by to pick you up at noon. Make sure you eat something. We should probably get up, right? Come on. You wish you could, but even thinking about getting up is too much effort. It still feels like you've been hit by a truck. Nothing would feel better than slipping back into a temporary coma. You pull your covers back up to your chin and let yourself doze off. It's not normal to be sleeping on and off like that. Ray, wake up. You wake up suddenly to the sound of your mom's voice. She's shaking you by the shoulders and trying to get you up and out of bed. Ray, we're going to be late for the doctor's. Did you not see my text message? Respond with attitude. Let's just do it. This is not respond with attitude. Guardedly, you pull a hoodie over your head and put on a pair of sweatpants while Mom rushes you out the door and into the car. Ray looks scared. You fidget uneasily as 2 of you wait for the doctor to appear. Mom said he's an ENT doctor, but you're not sure what that stands for. Neither do I. Based on the large pictures on the cross-section of a head on the wall, you guess it stands for ear, nose, and throat. Mom got a referral from your primary care physician after he found out you had been congested and sick a couple of times. I don't know why we're even here. 10 more minutes go by. Hello, I'm Dr. Clark. Mom goes over the same spiel that she gave Dr. Harris. He listens and nods occasionally as he inspects you for normal checkup procedures. Well, her ears and throat look fine. I need to take a closer look at her nose. Pulls out a long, thin device. It looks like a stick. Oof. He says it's a camera, and to get your great comfort, he shoves it up your nose. Ugh. Nope. Not really seeing anything here. He moves the stick around. Ugh. It hurts a little, but it's mostly just weird. Ugh. That sounds super uncomfortable. He leans back in his chair, finally finished. You know what I think? I think she's a teenager. She had a cold, and now she's milking it off for that. All she can. What? That's even worse than the last one. Her chart says she's on antidepressants already, so there's not much else I can do. We can swap her for something. Look, kid, you just have to suck it up and go to school, even if you're sick. You know, when I was a kid, I got the chicken pox, and I still went to school. Good for you, man. Good for you. He rambles on for a bit as you zone out. Mom stares at him in silence, but you can tell she's carefully holding her words back, ready to give him some choice words. When he finishes his lecture, she calmly stands and walks out of the room. I know some other people that would have yelled at this guy. You shuffle out after her. You make a brief stop in the waiting room while Mom takes care of the copay. They both head home none the wiser than when you came. Several days later, it's the weekend after your appointment. You're resting in bed when your phone vibrates. It's a text from Sadie. Dude, we start new projects in art class tomorrow. What's something awesome you could put on your wall? That's so sweet. Plus, you would be lying if you say you hadn't been asking for some art from her for a while. Victorian painting, super space, stylish fancy. A field of flowers. Hit send. Before you know it, there's a response. You got it, Captain. Just make sure you get back to school at some point to pick it up. Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. If you have anything to say about it. You hear Mom calling for you from the kitchen. You pocket your cell phone and get out of bed. Coming! Oh, look who came when we called. Yeah, about that. What could you possibly want this early on a Sunday? Ray, it's 2 p.m. Oh. I need to bring a dish to the potluck at work tomorrow. Since you spent the last few days in your room, I figured you might want to help. I don't know. I'm still tired, Mom. Mom sighs heavily. Alright, just help me choose something people will actually eat. Quinoa salad. That's really good though. Ugh, green beans. Jesus Christ, why do people like this stuff? Beans are just nasty. Cucumber sandwiches. You know, I'm just gonna... Cucumber sandwich... Let's go with the salad. Well, the quinoa has been sitting on the shelf for a while. Just because your father hated that stuff doesn't mean it deserves to rot in purgatory. But they're good. Grab some tomatoes and onions from the fridge, will you? Mom. Hey, it was worth a shot. You and Mom giggle as she turns back to the fridge. Ugh, green bean casserole. Jesus Christ, it's terrible. I'm sorry to those who like it, but I don't like that. Green beans? No. I never had cucumber sandwiches. Another doctor. You and Mom have another doctor's appointment. This whole process is starting to seem like a cycle of missing school and getting nowhere. But you guess finding an answer is worth it. Alright. Apparently, there's a chance that this whole energy issue is a problem with your heart. So you're in to see a cardiologist today. The doctor listens to your heartbeat and you breathe. It seems alright, but let's do a cardiogram and a heart ultrasound just to make sure. Oh, I thought I was gonna do an EKG. You lie down on a table, the tech attaches. Oh, so it is. Well, they call it something else? Or is it different from an EKG? 20 different electrodes to your head and your chest for a cardiogram. Oh, EKG only does it on your torso and upper body, not your head. You lie there and feel like a potato battery. After a few minutes, you're ushered into another room for the ultrasound. You take your shirt off, and the tech pushes down on your chest with a device covered in cold gel. She keeps looking for different angles, and it hurts your ribs. You wince at the pressure and squeeze your eyes shut, trying to go somewhere else in your mind. You see your heart show up on the black and white monitor. It seems small. The nurse examines it. How big are our hearts? Is it like a fist, right? It's a fist. It's as big as an adult fist. Well, you have a teeny tiny heart murmur, but it's really small. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Definitely not the issue here. Great, another dead end. Maybe you should go to someone that specializes in brain, doesn't test for the brain. Your phone lights up. There's a reminder in your calendar. Find monologue for fall play auditions. Damn, I really want to try out for the lead, but you haven't had the time or energy to prepare anything. Maybe you'll feel better by next week and can find something in time. There's always a text from Sadie. There's also you, me, Super Space Sailors marathon this weekend. We could finish the whole season if we watch non-stop for 24 hours. That would be so much fun, but you know that you just don't have the energy to get to Sadie's place, let alone stay up with her for hours on end. Rain check? I've got so much to catch up. I don't want to ignore her, that's rude. Send the text and tuck your phone away, staring out the car window. These doctor's appointments are wearing you down. You're not sure if it's even worth it anymore, but you still wish you had an answer. I'll say yes. Of course, you've had a few dead ends, but someone's gotta come up with something. Sure, there were some bad apples, but maybe the next doctor will be better. I mean, you always gotta hope. Maybe you'll find an answer some way, somehow. Several more weeks later. You wake up and find yourself in your room. Everything seems kind of peaceful. Weird, you glance at the clock. 8:48? This does not bode well for your 9 o'clock class. Mom? There's no response. She must have already left for work. You grab the nearest articles of clothing and sprint into the bathroom. Even if you hurry, you won't be that late. Oh, she's going back to school? Arriving in class a solid 25 minutes late, you slam your backpack down and pull your notes. The rush of adrenaline from your booking into school has got you wired. As fast as you can, you start scribbling down the notes on the whiteboard. Okay, adjectives, noun, modifiers. They describe a noun, adverb, adjective, verb, or other adverb modifiers. Examples include. I shouldn't have fallen asleep. Well, I shouldn't have gone to school, but. Ray. Huh? Sadie? Dude, it's time for PE. Wait, what? Oh god. Haha, did you fall asleep? Yeah, can I borrow your notes? I mean, sure, but you seem like you made good progress already. What? You look at your notebook in front of you, and sure enough, There are lines of notes written in and on the pages, very legible but still there. Oh, did I write these in my sleep? Oh god. Oh my gosh, that is like a superpower. I would kill to be able to do that. You're not sure how you feel about that statement, but you brush it off. Since you woke up, you're feeling surprisingly refreshed. As weird as the nap was, it gives you enough of a boost to make it through the rest of the school day. I actually sometimes do that when I'm in a lecture and I feel super sleepy. I'll be half like asleep and keep writing. And I mean, it'll look terrible, but the handwriting is still readable to some degree. Mom got a recommendation for this holistic doctor, Dr. Worth. Alternative medicine as a concept doesn't really click in your mind, but at this point, you're getting desperate for answers. His office is in a nice part of town. It was hard to find parking. As you walk in, you notice the office is covered in embroidered pillows. His Harvard degree sits on the wall in a nice frame. Oh my god. Dr. Worth listens to the spiel. He says he has some ideas about what might be going wrong and orders some blood tests. Yes, blood tests. Maybe that might show something. Maybe. You go to the section of the office with the phlebotomist, aka the person who draws blood. Oh. She pulls up your hoodie sleeve, ties your arm off, and disinfects the bend of your arm. She tells you they need 11 vials of blood. Wait, is that a lot? You nod, she slides the needle in, but you don't look. After you get your blood drawn, you meet up with your mom at the front desk. Apparently the doctor recommended some specialty supplements that he also sells in-house. You watch as the price tag climbs with each additional bottle. You find out, of course, they're not covered by insurance. Mom pays the absorbent price, and the two of you head home. You shouldn't really buy medication that... I don't even know. You should just wait till the blood test comes back. I mean, at this point, they're desperate. You spend the next week down the extra supplements, vitamins, minerals, and weird powders you mix with apple juice. You name it. Some of them taste gross, and some of them are the size of horse pills, but you swallow them all. With your previous meds and your new supplements combined, you now have a personalized medication chart taped to the inside of the pantry cabinet. There's your morning pills, 7, your lunch pills, 5, and your night pills, 9, for a whopping total of 21 pills a day? Oh man. If these pills are supposed to make you feel better, why do you feel so much worse all the time? That's a lot. Oh my gosh. More weeks? You're back. You and your mom are back to see Dr. Worth. He pulls out some pieces of paper. They have your name on top, as well as a bunch of tables with all sorts of numbers on it. Do you know what these are? A chart of some kind? Right. It shows a high level of liver enzymes. He drones on a bit about certain activities have side effects that are evident in many ways. Teenagers often fail to realize that the stress they place on their bodies have lasting effects. Seeming cool is more important than their health. What? Wait a minute. What? There's no easy way to say this. Your daughter is sniffing glue. What? What? How does he come to that conclusion? Excuse me? I'm not. Honestly, the absurdity of the proposal shakes you more than you are willing to admit. You rake him, the druggie getting high behind the dumpsters after 5th period. Even if you planted the rumor in school, he gained some street cred, except for the fact that a total of 0 people will believe it. I understand that this is hard to hear, but catching it early is the first step to recovery and intervention. Dude, it could be something else. Mom cuts him off by standing. Thank you for the advice. Good day. I would too. I would have gone off with this guy. Uh-oh, Mom is overemphasizing her sentences. This isn't good. Follow Mom out the door, leaving Dr. Worth shaking his head. Oh my god, I knew this guy was stuck up when I saw him. Oh yeah, she's sniffing glue. What? Why did you just come to that conclusion? The silence is palpable. I'm not sniffing. I know. Because I would never. I know. Great. What a complete and utter waste of time. Your phone lights up. It's an email from Mr. Jefferson titled, "See me for exam score." Crap. The only time Mr. Jefferson asks to see students is when they are failing. This is not a good day to be missing school again. There's also a text from Sadie. "You're not dying, are you? Someone at school started a rumor you were dying. It was Karen Murphy, so of course I don't believe her, but still, you would tell me, right?" Ugh, Karen Murphy. If you had the mental energy to be mad, you would be. Okay, not dying, just sick. Talk soon. You send the text and tuck your phone away, going back to looking out the window. Well, so much for this doctor being better than the rest. In fact, this doctor may even be worse. He was way worse. The only thing these doctors have done are make assumptions about who you are, and the grand total of none of them have helped in the slightest. Why can't someone just tell me what's wrong already? Let's keep searching. Despite everything, the chance of finding out what is wrong is still worth it for now. Maybe they'll go to a brain specialist. I don't know. Could be something disrupting her pattern in her brain. It's causing her to be sick. It's midday. You can tell the minute you open your eyes from the sun shining through the window. You have not been to school any day this week or last week. You don't even want to think about all the makeup assignments that you're going to have when you finally go back. If you ever go back, sometimes it feels like this sickness will last forever. Rolling out of bed, you see your cello across the room. It's been a while since you played, but nothing would make you happier. You grab your backpack and take out the music sheet your orchestra director sent you. No time like the present, an hour of practice will keep up with the rest of them when I get to rehearsal again. You take out your cello from its case, you pick up your bow, prepping for the start of the piece. The notes are long and flowing. It feels amazing to play, but before long, your arm positions on the cello weighs you down. Your muscles ache from moving the bow back and forth. You look at the clock. Only 20 minutes in? I never feel this tired after only this long. You set your cello back in its case and take a break. You don't know why you thought you could actually practice normally, especially given how you've been feeling lately. Oh, you're just tired after 20 minutes of playing? Just muscle fatigue? Going to see a blood doctor today. You didn't know that there were doctors that just studied blood. You're ready for another run-of-the-mill experience similar to the ones you had before. Break him? You nod, but the doctor doesn't even lift her gaze from her file in her hand. She lifts her eyes over her rectangular glasses to get a better look at you. She looks back down at the file with her notes, then back at you, then back down. I think it might be Lyme disease. Oh, finally, the blood test. It does something. Maybe? It's pretty rare, but I'm not sure if you've been in an area with ticks. Garage again. Just try to ignore that. But it's worth checking out. I'll order a blood test. Maybe they'll find something with this doctor. You're almost taken aback by the efficiency of the appointment. She doesn't even touch you or come in close enough to get a good look at you. Maybe she was just that good or just that bad. Well, we'll see. Your phone lights up. It's a text from your orchestra conductor. Regretfully, you have been cut from the upcoming recital for not attending enough rehearsals. You feel tears stain at your eyes as you put your phone away. There's also a text from Sadie. Hey. I don't want to ignore it. Say, hey, can't talk. You send a text, tuck your phone away, and stare out the window. You try not to think about how much you wish you could play in that recital. Today was a complete bust. You look at Mom. Despite everything, she's still your strongest advocate. She might be the only one on your side at all. She's fighting so hard for you that it makes you determined to keep going. Another doctor it is. I know it's exhausting to keep trying to find a doctor that can actually diagnose you with something, but you know, we'll try. Auditions for the school play are tomorrow. You haven't had that much time to prepare, but there are some monologues you still have memorized from last time. What do you want to use? How about you use Hamilton? Nice. Oh wait. What was that noise? Let me go. You're right. I have to go and check on something important. Okay. Pull out the script and start flipping through it until you finally find a chunk of text that works for this audition. Then you get to work. Hours later, you lay back on your bed, having memorized and practiced your audition to your heart's content. You proudly set your alarm and climb into bed, ready for tomorrow. The next day. Ray. Oh. Looks terrible once again. Your eyes open to find your cheeks sitting in your breakfast. Huh? What happened? Well, I'm not an expert, but I believe you fell asleep in your breakfast? Ugh. You rise out of your chair and wipe some of your breakfast off your face. Mom is watching you carefully, even walking to the sink tires you out. Oh man. You lean against the counter and try to rub some of the sleep from your eyes. Honey, I really don't think you should be going to school today. Auditions. I know it's your choice. She's right. You know she's right. But it doesn't make it hurt any less. You can barely function this morning. There's no way you're going to make it this afternoon. Okay. She's super tired. She's falling asleep all the time. But she was sick a few times. Did that trigger something? I'm back at another doctor? You have no idea there are so many types of specialists for doctors, but here you are. Somehow you made your way to an infectious disease doctor. Mom launched into the same spiel as before. This doctor doesn't even have the decency to talk to your face. She talks over your head directly to Mom, showing her a series of laminated sheets with charts and graphs on them. Rude. Yeah, what's up with all these doctors? It's supposed to act the patient. Like, what's wrong? Mom notices your sour expression. So Ray, what do you think of all this? Dr. Lee, as it says in her coat, turns and gives you an obviously forced smile. Wow. Oh, you don't have to worry about the fine details. I'm sure they'll go over her head anyway. You sit there, taken aback as Dr. Lee turns back to Mom. This one's just rude. Excuse me, I may be a kid, but I'm not stupid. You sit there fuming while Mom smiles and nods at the doctor. Dr. Lee thinks you probably have something, but not an infectious disease. Yeah, I could have told you that one, genius. Despite the lack of infectious disease, she writes you an official doctor's note to excuse you for the amount of school you're missing. The second the appointment is over, you beeline out the door. Yeah, just ignore her. Go over and try to talk to her. Some of these doctors are arrogant. Neither of you are happy about the appointment you had just had, or the money you just spent. You look at the note in your hand, an official excuse to be missing class. The note reads Infectious Disease Clinic in bold, black letters at the top. It looks intimidating, but you suppose it's effective enough. After missing so much school, you could show administration so you don't get expelled. Mom looks at you. You look like a bomb. She squeezes your hand tightly, but her eyes are less bright than they were before. She would never show it, but the constant barrage of doctors is taking a toll on her as well. You can only be treated like a science experiment for so long before you snap. It just seems like no matter how hard you try, there are 1,000 things in the way of finding answers. You just wish things could go back to normal. Now you could just leave behind the word of doctors and appointments for good. You're just so tired. Ugh. Mom drops you off at school to turn in your doctor's note. It feels like years since you've been there. You wish you were back for good. After dropping off your doctor's note at the front office, you head to the hallways to see if you can find any of your friends. Lo and behold, Sadie is standing right there at her locker, loading books into her bag. Casually say hi. You walk up to the locker, trying to not to shock her too much. You put on a soft smile. Hi. Sadie turns and breaks into a smile too. Hey stranger, it's been a minute, hasn't it? She slings her backpack over her shoulder and pulls you into a hug. I was worried you were never going to come back and would just fade into the background, never to be seen again, which made me wonder what would happen to your locker. Would they auction it off like in Storage Wars, or does it go to the next of kin? You laugh at her bemused face. Man, she hasn't changed at all. Good. If it all goes to my parents, duh. Although you could probably steal some stuff before they got to it. I know how much you want my watercolor pencils. Watercolor pencils? I would never, unless you were offering. In case, I would definitely take those off your hands. You both burst into giggles. So, now that you're back, we have some chatting up to do. You have to hear the hot gossip that Mackenzie is dishing. Your smile fades. Actually, I'm only stopping by today. I got his doctor's notes to excuse how much school I've been missing. Sadie deflates. Oh, I just thought, no, it's fine. You take all the time you need, but... What is it? You haven't actually told me what you have. Is it contagious? Is that why you're spending so much time away from school? You don't really want to explain everything to another person, but Sadie is your friend. She means well. You launch into a summary of your life since the beginning of the fall. The sleeping, the doctor's pills, the endless number of tests, how discouraging it all is, how you wish you had just had an answer. She nods along without saying anything. Actually, I have an appointment with a doctor that specializes in hormones. I might think of something that will help. Might? Well, yeah. I don't know, I'm just skeptical that anything will help. Maybe it's your diet? When I don't eat enough, I feel tired. Well, it's more than being tired. That's not really... Or maybe you aren't exercising enough? My mom says young people like us need to run around and tire ourselves out in order to get a good night's rest. Well, drinking water can... Not drinking water, not that drinking water. Help the body wake up and be ready for the day. I read that in a self-help guide. Water can't really cure everything. Read self-help guides? No. Or at least I didn't used to. After you stopped going to school, I wanted to help, so I read about some stuff. You're such a good friend. I got a book from the library called 1001 Diseases You Could Have and Not Know. She pulls out a textbook from her backpack and shoves it into your hand. It's pretty hefty, but you're carrying it around just in case you saw each other. You can't tell that she put a lot of effort for you, but this isn't really what you wanted to hear after the onslaught of doctors you just visited. Sadie shuffles her weight back and forth. She obviously wants to say something, but is clearly uncomfortable. Actually, have you heard of Psychosomatic Symptoms? Your heart drops. Yes, you have. It's basically when you think you're sick, but actually it's all in your head. I mean, she's clearly tired. Excuse me? I'm not saying that's what you have, but you've been to all these doctors, and they don't know what's wrong. Doctors are smart. They should know things. Well, not all doctors. They don't really tell. Right, they should. What if you aren't actually sick? Then you just need to think positive until you get better and things can go back to normal. You stare at Sadie, almost in shock. Think positive. Are you serious? She wasn't trying to be mean. What? You think I'm making this up? Do you not believe me too? I do, but... I don't know. I just don't see how you can say you were so sick and yet stand here and... What? Look. Looks like you're fine. You were hanging in the air for a moment. Tears sting at your eyes. You stare at her for a few seconds before you turn, walk down the hall, and exit the school. I can understand why she's upset. She feels like her friend doesn't even believe that she's sick. I seem fine. How could she say that after I spilled my heart out to her and let her know of what I've been going through? How could she still think that everything is fine? Some more days later. We're falling can't sleep all the time. I don't know, it makes me think of narcolepsy, but this can't be narcolepsy. You're at another doctor's appointment with Mom. Visiting school took a lot of energy out of you, and this isn't helping. You feel miserable. You've been sitting in this room for a couple of minutes, but honestly, all these offices are starting to blend together. This lady is an endocrinologist, a hormone doctor. Dr. Jones gave you a referral after your blood test results were negative for Lyme disease. Surprise, surprise. Okay. The doctor enters the room with a flourish, her red cowboy boots flashing and her dress twirling. You look at her in awe. She seems nice. She sits down and faces you and your mom, smiling brightly. She extends your hand out to yours. Hello, my name is Julie. What can I call you? You shake her hand a bit, taken aback by her friendliness. I'm Ray. I'm sick, but I'm not happy about it, so that's why I'm here. Dr. Julie laughs heartily. Can't help but smile, too. Well, your funny bone certainly isn't damaged. Let's start at the beginning and try to get a grasp on what's going on. Well, we believe it started at the beginning of this year with... Actually, Mom, can I hear this part from Ray? It may help me understand a bit better. Yes, doctor that actually asked the actual patient. What's wrong with her? You look at her for a second before launching into your own story, eager for her advice and opinion. She looks at you, really looks at you, like you're a person and not just some test subject. She listens to your story earnestly. If she has ideas and questions, she doesn't overstep her boundaries. It feels like you're involved in the process, like you have a seat at the table. Okay, I don't want us to get ahead of ourselves, but I have an idea. I have your blood test from Dr. Jones. They show high levels of a hormone called cortisol. What is cortisol again? Do you know what that is? You nod yes, you've heard this before. Dr. Julie continues to explain how some of your symptoms and aspects of your story are typical of a certain illness, one that seems very familiar. These symptoms line up perfectly with what we call Cushing's syndrome. Based on your blood test, I believe that you may have an adrenal tumor on your pituitary gland that is affecting your hormones. So it did have something to do with her hormones? A tumor? Dr. Julie smiles and places a comforting hand on your shoulder. I understand that this seems pretty scary. I do. MRI. I was like, how are you gonna go to someone that specializes in brain, like your head? But an MRI will... No, it's not that. It really wasn't. You couldn't really describe it, but you're almost happy? Cushing's syndrome, is it treatable? Well, we should confirm that it is... Well, we don't know what it is yet. That it is what you actually have first, but with treatment, it has been found to be completely reversible. I was thinking, since she was tired all the time, it could be something with her brain? Because I was thinking of narcolepsy, but it couldn't be that. But it has to do with some section of the brain. I forgot what part of the brain. I don't know. You turn to your mom, who is smiling softly at your side. You hug her, and she holds you close as tears starting to fall from your eyes. Thank you. I know she's feeling relief and just joy after someone actually finally told her what she has. Well, probably has. Dr. Julie walks you and your mom as you head to the MRI. Hopefully this will be the last of these exploratory tests. Several more days later? Is it? Maybe? The sun is going down as you open your eyes for the first time today. It's almost peaceful outside your window as you lie in bed. There is a soft knock on your door and Mom opens it slowly. Sweetie? You sit up out of the bed. Her voice is too soft. She strokes her hair and sighs. Dr. Julie's office just called with some news about the MRI. Oh. I know we both really wanted Dr. Julie to be right. No, she wasn't right. I'm sorry, but the scans came back negative for a tumor of any sort. Oh, so it didn't show anything? What could it be then? You feel numb, like the world just dropped out from under you, and you're floating. You know you're supposed to feel happy. You know you're supposed to be relieved, but in your mind this was your solution, this was your answer. This was going to be the end of seeing all these doctors and getting all these tests done. They end up being poked and prodded and being treated like a science experiment of being less than human. But after everything, all the hope you got from Dr. Julie is just another dead end. Is isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm a teenager. I should be enjoying life, going to school and getting in trouble for coming home late. That's what everyone else gets to do. That's what they do on TV. Why can't this just end? Mom leans in to comfort you, but you don't respond. Instead, you stare straight ahead, tears streaming down your face. She gives you some space. Sweetheart, just don't, okay? I hate this. I hate all of this. I just want to go to school and see my friends. I just want to be a normal kid. I just want all of this to be over. Mom reaches out in comfort. Please, I want to be alone. She nods in understanding and rises. Before she leaves, she turns back. We're going to have to stop going to doctors for a little while. We don't have enough money to see anyone else, but I promise we're going to figure out what this is. She shuts the door behind her, and you curl into a ball underneath your blanket, letting your sobs overtake your body. You cry until you are absolutely exhausted and you can't move. What could it be then? Might as well sleep. What could she have? It started with it seemed like a normal cold, and then it progressed into this. She still looks tired. We wake up in your bedroom. It's just another Monday. Go back to sleep? We should just go back to sleep. Just as quickly as your eyes have opened, they're closed again, you fall back asleep. You wake up again. It's still Monday. Let's get up. You try, but you just can't. Oh, she has the painting of the flowers. You wake up again. It's still Monday. You think. Just go back to sleep. You fall back asleep. Get up. You're not going to be late today. You grumble as you get out of bed and change your son's clothes. Mom hauls you into the car to take you to school. Okay, she's still going to school. It's fall semester again. Oh, 1 year? It's been 1 year since this all began. Despite going back at school semi-regularly, you still feel like you're always missing class to catch up on sleep. Not to mention, you're still tired all the time. You fall asleep in a couple of your classes, but end up making it through the entire school day. Despite taking several naps, you're still exhausted. Sadie's house. Do we go back to Sadie's house? You haven't seen Sadie since before the summer ended. You're not sure you want to open that bag of worms right now. You don't have the energy to deal with her today. Your phone vibrates in your pocket. It's a text from Mom. She's out front to pick you up from another doctor's appointment. Right. It's your first appointment in a while, actually. You got a strong recommendation from one of your previous doctors. Maybe this time it will be worth the cost? You grab your backpack and head down to the main office. Man, it's been 1 year. By the end of last year, your family was too broke to see any more doctors, and that's not even considering the emotional cost of it all. But after a summer of no doctor visits, your family saved up enough money and paid enough bills to start looking into solutions again. The doctor comes in, her coat reads Dr. Shipley. Funny, that sounds like a sci-fi captain's name. Mom launches into an explanation. Dr. Shipley, like the rest of the doctors, listens to the spiel. She, like the rest of all the doctors, nods her head. Sounds like you benefit from a sleep study, although it could still be something else. Let's get you scheduled for one. You sigh heavily but make the appointment nonetheless. You schedule it for next week in the sleep lab at the hospital. At least this test will be harder to fail, given how great I am at falling asleep. Year with a mystery illness. Ugh, illness can really just take up your whole entire life. Sleep study, I didn't know this was a thing. Mom drags you to the sleep center for your sleep study. You never stayed overnight at a hospital before, but this place is different than expected. It's kind of cozy with lots of closed-off rooms. After getting checked in, you're shown to your room. The sleep tech attaches what seems to be electrodes to your head, chest, and legs. He also puts 2 elastic bands around your chest to monitor your breathing. Mom looks down at you. You look like a robot. You snicker. She kisses you on the head. I'll be back in the morning. Sleep tight. Maybe this sleep study might help a little bit. You crawl under your covers, the lights are off, and the sleep tech talks to you over the intercom. He asks you to close your eyes, look up, look down, look side to side, checking to see the monitoring equipment is working properly. Okay, you're all set. Shout if you need anything. You fade into sleep. Despite having numerous cords attached to you, you sleep fine. Once you wake up, the sleep tech helps you take off some of the electrodes off, but not all of them. It's time for the nap test. We'll have you try and fall asleep for 30 minutes. Every few hours, once the nap tests are done, you'll be free to go. You do the first 2 nap tests and fall asleep easily. Seems like you're passing. I can hear your stomach rumbling from the other room. How about I order some food from the hospital's cafeteria? You nod. That sounds pretty good. Sandwich, soup, mac and cheese. Let's just have a sandwich. Your food arrives at the lab and you take a break to chow down. Not the finest meal I ever had. I wish my mom had packed me something. Time to get back to taking naps. It actually isn't as bad as you thought it would be. All you're doing is taking naps, so it's better than all the other tests you have to take. You finish up the rest of the nap test. Finally, it's time to go home. The sleep tech takes the rest of the electrodes off your head and releases you from the elastic bands. Mom has it waiting for you outside. She gives you a hug. How'd it go? Did you sleep okay? Tell her about the food, tell her about the nap test, say nothing. Tell her about the food. Lunch was terrible. That sandwich really can't compare to your quinoa salad. Please tell me we're having something tasty for dinner. Mom smiles. We can. What are you in the mood for? Spices. Literally any spice or flavor whatsoever will be improvement. Is hospital food that bad? Tikka masala? Perfect. I'll even take leftovers if we have any. The 2 of you head out the door and home without another word about the study. More weeks. Oh man. We finally get a letter in the mail and a phone call from the sleep doctor. Mom talked with her on the phone for a while, but you come to see her in person. No doubt you're just waiting to get informed about yet another dead end. So we got your results back from the sleep study. I understand you have been looking for answers for quite some time, yes? You give her a weak nod. She hands you a packet of papers and has some charts with numbers you don't understand. Well, after reviewing the test results, I feel confident that oh my god, it was narcolepsy. I feel confident that your symptoms are tied to a condition you may have heard about before. Seems like you have narcolepsy. I was thinking it was narcolepsy, but I kept thinking about how she got, sick, and I just don't, I learned about narcolepsy, but I don't think I remember it mentioning anything about, sickness, cold symptoms. I know it mentions, it's about, you suddenly just feeling tired all the time and just nodding off to sleep almost all the time. I don't think I learned actually what triggers it, or if there's anything trigger it. You look up at her and stare in disbelief. Wait, it's been so long since all this madness began. Is it this? Are you here? Do you finally have your answers? But narcolepsy isn't right. I've seen on TV that people just fall over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But like not usually for comedic effect. I've seen people like, I've heard of it like falling, people just falling asleep suddenly. That's what I'm thinking that I don't think should really happen. A few years ago, someone dressed up as a narcolepsy man for Halloween. It was pretty funny to see him just kneel over and snore. That's what I have. That's not what I have. The heck? Narcolepsy. Man, that's weird. Narcolepsy affects the brain's ability to regulate sleeping and waking cycles, which is characterized by excessive sleepiness during the day and falling asleep for short spurts of time. Sleep doesn't really do the job that it should be doing, so you wake up less rested than you should. You nod. What she's saying is actually making a lot of sense. Also, your story lines up with many that we got here at the Sleep Center. Most patients present symptoms between the ages of 10 and 20, and often visit many physicians before receiving a diagnosis, if they ever do at all. That is really sad. Proper resource management and follow-ups, it is absolutely possible to live a full life with this condition. Tears come to your eyes and you feel lighter, almost. This thing you've been living with, this silent monster, it finally has a name. Instead of shrugging when people ask what's wrong, you finally have a real answer. Mom gives you a hug. She's crying too. You thank the doctor and schedule another appointment for a more in-depth session later. How do you treat narcolepsy? You use pills, but... You and your mom are quiet on the car ride home. Her entire demeanor has relaxed. You can see her relief. It's been a long couple of years for both of you. Since still, after the initial happiness of the diagnosis, a somber feeling has settled within you. You haven't said much since leaving the office. What's up? Let's be honest. I feel like I'm supposed to be happy about this, but I'm just not. Mom looks over at you, egging you on to say more. I don't know, I thought having a diagnosis would help, and it does help a little bit, but now you have to deal with the aftermath. Yeah. You sigh heavily. Let's speak freely. I have to deal with this. You've just been along for a ride. Oh. Mom looks taken aback by this response, but doesn't say anything. Alright, I know these past months have been hard on you, but I really am trying my best. It hasn't been easy on me either. Let's just say nothing. I was not expecting that. You bite your tongue and let her speak. It's been heart-wrenching watching you change from the happy and boisterous girl you were to the worn-down person you are now. What these past few months have done to you, no young person should have to go through that. But that's not an excuse to stop trying. Tears threaten to spill from your eyes and your hands shake. I'm not stupid, Mom. I know what managing a disease means. It means it's not curable. I'm going to have to live like this forever. If there isn't any hope of getting better, why should I try at all? Mom pulls the car over to the side of the road, turning off the car so that she can look at you head on. Ray Kim, what problems do you see in the world? What? Come on, it's not that hard of a question, is it? Name a problem that you can see. Kind of a vague question, but you ponder it nonetheless. There's inequality, of course, and wars overseas, but also the corner store stopped stocking strawberry milk over the summer, which has been a real bummer. Then there's everything you and Mom saw, doctors that didn't take you seriously, a lack of understanding from people about what you were experiencing. It hurts your heart to think of those things. Empathy. People don't relate to things they don't understand. Yeah. Okay, who's going to solve that problem? Again, you're at a loss for words. Because the way I see it, if you see a problem and no one's there to fix it, isn't it on you to take the first step? You stop and think about that for a second. Did you get that off of Facebook? A Facebook post? Ray, I'm being serious. You need to have a goal to work towards in order to keep going. Having a positive outlook on things is easy when life is going well, but sometimes life just sucks. When situations are out of your control, you can either wallow in your own thoughts or you can control what you can, your outlook. But if you give up, there is no way for them to ever get any better. I don't want to lose my daughter to some condition she may have. I want you to find a way to be happy despite it. That's all I ever wanted for you. You can't help it anymore. You spring forward to hug your mom. You cry into her shoulder as she pats your head. You will sit there for a bit until you calm back down. Your father and I are here for you. And will always be. You just can't read anymore. You just can't give up hope on living a good life. You nod in her arms. You understand what you need to do now. It's Tuesday. Sadie is down the hall, walking towards you, but she hasn't looked up from her phone yet. It's now or never. Sadie! She looks up and sees you smiling. She can't help but smile back. Ray, long time no see. Are you visiting it again? No, I'm actually back. For real this time. You're all better now? Your smile falters just for a moment. No, I just got a real diagnosis though. I think this one is legit too. You both stand there, looking at each other. It's been months since everything went down between the two of you, and you aren't quite sure what to say at this point. Look, I'm sorry, I've been kind of distant. Everything just kept piling up, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But you actually tried to reach out when no one else seemed to care. I should have been a better friend to you. You shift your weight and take a deep breath. I was wondering, do you want to come over and write with me about school today? Sadie smiles, but there's something behind her eyes that upsets you. It's pretty obvious how much your fight hurt her. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Sure, I'd love to come over. What are you working on these days? You laugh nervously, silently breathing a sigh of relief. I actually haven't touched my story since last year, so that's that. There's that. Gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. I've been writing a lot since you've been gone. This summer I finished the first draft of that novel I've been working on. Sadie, that's amazing. Sadie's bright face shines back at you. Thanks, you know, I actually am in need of a proofreader. The members of the writing club are not the best help when it comes to sentence structure, but that's expected when your club is 90% freshmen. Whoa, wait, writing club? Yeah, I kind of started it last year after winter break. We only have a couple of members, but this is one girl, Alyssa. I think you would really like her. You giggle at Sadie's shyness, but it's obvious she's really proud of the club. You never would have guessed that she would start one of her own. And again, it has been a whole year since you really hung out together. Maybe you weren't the only one to change. Well, if you happen to be accepting new members. Are you kidding? Of course you can join, but I have to warn you, it does conflict with drama club. That's alright. I always did like watching theater more than doing it. The two of you laugh and chat all the way to her house. Turns out there is a lot to catch up on. Well, I'm glad Sadie and Ray have made up. I can understand Ray being upset with Sadie. Sadie was trying to help, but telling someone, oh, it's all in your head, when doctors have been telling you that too. You know, can't help but feel angry at that. You girls have a good time and stay safe. Remember, if anyone makes you uncomfortable, you have my permission to punch them in the face. That's right. Thanks, Mom. And if anyone touches you, thanks, Mom. Okay, have fun. I packed you both quinoa salad in case you get hungry. I think I'm saying that wrong. Really? You made quinoa salad again? If we went over so well at the potluck, how can I not? I'll be back to pick you up at 4. Dang, she must really make really good quinoa salad. You and Sadie wave goodbye to Mom as she drives off. It's been a few months since you and Sadie reconnected, and the two of you have settled into a comfortable friendship once again. It's a little different from before, but just as loving. Sadie was the one to bring up going to the anime convention that's held downtown every year. You never had the guts to go before, but after everything that's happened over the past few years, you decided it was time to step out of your comfort zone. Alright, the Super Space Sailor voice actors have a panel at 2:15. Until then, we can take a look at the show floor. Aye, Captain Tommy. I've set a course. Thank you, Miss Darling. You and Sadie are set off through the aisles of the show floor. Around this crowd, the exhibit halls with all sorts of merchandise, plushies, clothes, art books, you can name it. Plus, there are cosplayers everywhere. Well, what are all those people crowding around there? I think that's the artist who draws dark and gritty takes on things that definitely don't need to be dark and gritty. That seems interesting. Sure, but you can only see so many teddy bear homicide detectives before you get told. But I'll take your word for that one, Sades. You and Sadie laugh, hoping he didn't hear you criticize his work. So how goes the new medication? Seems like it may be working, but it's too early to say for sure. I'm just glad this one doesn't make me feel so jittery. Kitty nods along. You remember talking to her ear off non-stop when you tried the last medication. It was supposed to keep you awake during the day, but instead make your heart race and your whole body feel twitchy. That sounds terrible. Medication management has been its own journey as well. You lost count of the number of meds you've tried. As of yet, you have not found the perfect balance between treatments and side effects. Hey, want to take a tour down Artist Alley? What is Holly? The two of you take a hard left and head down the path of posters and prints that wind the way. An interesting piece of art catches your eye, hanging on the wall at the bottom of one of the booths. Hey Sadie, wait up a second. You talk with the artist and she pulls a poster down off the wall. Sadie gives you a bit of a side-eye glance. You hold the piece in your hands. It's a picture of a cello, but the background is made up of playbills from various musicals. It seemed like it was made for you. Wow, seems abstract. Although the use of color is She smiled at her limited attempt to be bilingual. I like it. Definitely worth the price tag. You hold the picture up to the light. This is going right up on the wall when you get home. Having to quit orchestra and drama club has been tough. You don't see your friends nearly as much anymore, but focusing on schoolwork has paid off pretty well. It took some time to get into the swing of things, but you're going to pass all of your classes this year. Your homework teacher even told you how impressed she was. You have homeroom? You gently place the picture in your bag and continue with Sadie. I was meaning to ask you, Alyssa and I are going to stop by the new boba place down the street tonight. You want to come? I would, but I have a doctor's appointment today. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Oh, well, you can postpone if you want. No, you guys go have fun. But let me know what flavors they have. We can go some other time. Sadie smiles at you and nods. That you have had to pick and choose when and where to spend your energy. It's just another part of your life that you have to adjust to. Hey, let's take a picture. Right now? No time like the present. You pull out your phone and open the front-facing camera. You and Sadie squeeze together and put on your biggest smiles. Smile! The camera shutters, freezing the moment in time. Despite everything, life has found a new version of normal for you. You look back on this moment when you need to remember how much love and support you have in your life. And you keep on smiling. Oh, and that's the end. Ugh, this is such a sweet story. Again. Of course, I can't understand what she's gone to, but I can feel her frustration. You're going to so many doctors, and they tell you that, oh, maybe it's also all in your head, or just there's nothing wrong with you or anything. That maybe you're just making it up. But you can't. In this situations like this, you want to have hope, and you want to come to a diagnosis. And she finally did go to a doctor. When she was falling asleep, I was thinking it was narcolepsy, but I wasn't really sure. Since she was falling asleep so much, I thought I was thinking of an MRI, but I guess I really didn't know what that was for. That's my bad. Now I was thinking, okay, it must be something to do with her brain. But I thought this game I thought it would discuss how she came to have narcolepsy. Like, can you have it just like spontaneously, like just all of a sudden? Or can it be triggered by something? This story also reminds me of like I read stories about people who have doctors take them seriously, especially about like women who have PCOS. Like they have PCO, they feel like there's something wrong with them, like when they have their periods, and like they're in so much pain and they're like even fainting to some extent, and the doctor's like, oh no, that's normal for women. Like it's normal to have pain, but it's not normal to have pain for like more than like one day, like intense pain, not like the pain like gradually decreasing every day, like intense pain and just rolling around and just feeling like you're gonna die. And a lot of people, they get diagnosed with PCOS later in their life because, they always thought it was something normal and they just have to deal with it. But this game really helped me enlighten me on people who suffer from silent illnesses and who have a hard time getting a diagnosis and seeking help and treatment. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.